Hi everybody, Jason from Course Motorsports here. Today we're sitting in a 2022 F-150 Ford truck, and we're about to do an installation of our brand new Overland series device mount. This one's going to be done in a couple stages. We're going to remove this top tray piece here, and we'll bring it inside to the bench to do our next step. But right now I'm going to talk you through removing this. To do this, you're going to need a trim tool. And the first step is we're going to grab onto this rubber mat right here and just lift it out of the way. Second step is, if you have this subwoofer middle speaker, we need to remove this cover over the speaker because there are two screws that are holding this whole tray in place underneath it. So to do that, you want to get your trim tool and just get under it where you can and pry up like so. There's clips around the edges, so if you can get underneath and just kind of pop up. Like so. It's just an array of clips. Those pop off. Then you're going to have two screws right here, and if you look, this bottom tray piece, there's clips here, and then every one of these little square indents, there's a clip. So you want to keep that in mind when you're prying up. But first we're going to need to grab our socket to remove those two screws. So you're going to want to take your 7mm socket, and we'll just take these two screws out. We're going to leave the speaker in place. Just keep in mind that once you pop all the clips loose, you'll need to unplug it, because we're going to completely remove this panel to give you a better angle. It's possible that when you're doing the install, you might not need to take the whole thing out. So we're going to take these screws and we'll set them in this cup holder. Then I'm going to start at the back corner, I think. And I'm going to get under here and try to pry it up. Like so. Stick my finger in there, try to keep it there, and then I'm going to do the back next to the speaker. Like so. Just kind of work your way around it. Helps if you hold some upward pressure like that. And then you have the two at the front. You should be able to wiggle it like so. Just like that. And then we'll unplug our speaker. There's a little squeeze tab on it. Squeeze the tab, pull the connector off, and just like that, you have all your clips around the edges. And as you can see, where there's a little square indent, that kind of tells you that's where the clip is. It's just a helpful way to pull it out. All right, we're going to take this into the bench, because what we're going to do is we're going to lay our base plate on, mark our holes, and we have to drill these holes out. So here we are, we're in here at the bench. Basically what you're going to want to do is, if you place the bracket so the short end is towards facing where the driver would be facing and the thicker end is facing towards the windshield, if you line the edge of the bracket up with this indent here, I would highly recommend just dropping the bracket on and verifying that with the bracket touching the front edge here, that your screw holes are lining up. So I'm pretty happy with where that is sitting. So you can do a couple things. I'm going to take something like this as a scribe, and I'm just going to make a couple little marks. There are 5 holes that you can drill to mount it, but it's not necessary. You could do 2 if you wanted. It just gives you the ability to really have it on there. And then you'll grab a drill bit and just drill a couple holes through it, and we will mount this bracket to this piece and put it back in the truck. Might be a good idea to maybe take a razor blade and just try to clean any burrs off. Probably can even get it off with your fingernail, just to make sure that you don't raise the bracket up or anything like that. But we will take our bracket and we'll drop it over the holes. You'll take your screws that we've provided, screws and nuts. They're lock washer style, lock nut style. We'll bolt the bracket in. Just like so. Now we can go back to the truck. All right, so we're back in the truck. We've got our base plate installed. Now we're just gonna simply do the reverse. So we'll reach under here, plug in our speaker. We'll come down here and make sure that there's a lip here in the front that you just need to kind of bend to make sure it pops underneath this trim. Make sure all your clips are lined up and pop them all back down like so. Then we will grab our 2 screws. So we'll drop our screws back down in the holes. Tighten them back down. Like so. Take your speaker cover, line up your clips, pop it into place. Next, you're going to take your top bracket and set it on top here. And this is where you're going to open up your ultra lock arm and decide which slot and where you want it in the slot. Then we'll pop it back off and install the arm. So we'll take our aluminum ultra lock arm out. And basically what you're looking for is which, where on here you would like your device to be. I think for the purpose of this video, I'm going to put it right here. Maybe a little bit towards the front of that slot. So we'll take it off. We'll grab our screw and washer and Allen wrench that is provided to you with the Overland arm. Put it through the slat, thread it into the base. Take your Allen and tighten it down. We'll bring it back up here. Drop it over the base plate. I'm gonna just snug this guy so it's out of the way. You'll take your 4 screws and just start them by hand. We'll snug them down with the wrench. like so. Now this is where you can kind of put the arm where you think you'd like it while you're driving. Next, you'll open up your box containing your head option that you've ordered, and you'll find an alcohol pad to clean off the back of your phone or case, and a steel ring with a sticky back. You'd use these if you don't have a MagSafe Apple device or case. A course sticker with a QR code that will take you to our website. Aluminum ball and an Allen wrench, which in this case we will not be using, but you could use to mount something else in any of the slats on this, and your MagSafe magnetic head. We're going to take the locking collar off, pop it over the ball, pop the head on, tighten everything down like so. Last but not least, you would take your phone, if you needed to, put the steel ring on. This happens to be a MagSafe phone with a MagSafe case. That's all there is to it.